If you're looking for the best yoga equipment, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have yoga mat. Regardless of whether you're using your own or yoga studio equipment, you need a yoga mat in order to practice yoga. There is no way around this fact. The yoga mat is the most vital piece of yoga exercise equipment. If you purchase just one thing on this list today, buy yourself a yoga mat. In terms of equipment for yoga, the mats will benefit you when practicing as they offer more grip than any kind of flooring. Nobody wants to injure themselves when exercising, which is why it is so important to buy yoga equipment that will keep us safe. Not only will yoga mats offer your hands and feet more grip when entering poses and holds, but they will also cushion your fall in the worst case scenarios of slipping or tumbling. Another benefit of purchasing this piece of equipment is now more prevalent than ever in the age of COVID. Yoga mats are also really easy to clean. So if you're returning to the yoga studio for the first time post-lockdown, you can put all health and safety worries to ease. Check out Ori Gym's reviews of the best yoga mat cleaners to keep your mat as hygienic as possible. Instead of borrowing one from the studio, buy your own mat and yoga equipment and feel all the better and safer for it. Moving on to the next at number 2 with yoga mat bag. When looking at yoga equipment for beginners, one of the most often overlooked pieces of equipment is the yoga mat bag. If you're practicing yoga solely from home, this may not seem vital. But if you're looking to join a class, then you're going to want to carry your equipment in the most efficient way possible. Most gym bags, backpacks, and handbags simply don't have room to accommodate the unique shape and size of yoga mats. You don't want to be squishing your mat into a bag and potentially damaging it in the process. This is why the yoga mat bag is such an essential purchase when you buy yoga equipment. So, instead of either coming to class flustered and struggling to carry everything you need or potentially breaking your expensive equipment by forcing it into a gym bag, we would recommend simply buying a yoga mat bag. It is a smart investment in the long run that will save you money and not having to replace broken or damaged equipment. The number 3 position is held by yoga towels. If yoga mats are viewed as basic yoga equipment, then consider yoga towels the Bikram yoga equipment equivalent. The rise of Bikram yoga, or as it is otherwise known as hot yoga, has birthed a new wave of yoga fitness equipment. For those of you who want to get into hot yoga, consider the yoga towel to be the most vital piece of Bikram yoga equipment you can own. But what is a yoga towel and what does it do? When practicing hot yoga, you're obviously going to sweat more. That is the whole purpose of the class, after all. But what the sweat can do is actually make the mat dangerous for you to use, as well as making it more likely to slip or move on the floor. The yoga towel can be placed on top of the mat and prevents it from becoming slippery with sweat. An advantage of using the mat is that the more you sweat, the more grip it will have. The towel will absorb the sweat and create resistance against the mat and floor. The yoga towel is a specially designed piece of Bikram yoga equipment, as regular towels will not provide the same type of support. Additionally, if you sweat a lot and are worried about the towel becoming slippery and losing grip, we'd recommend looking for towels with non-slip backings, such as ones that come with silicone nubs. Not only is this a great piece of Bikram yoga equipment, but it can also be placed on top of yoga mats during regular yoga classes should you want to avoid any dirty / pre-used mats. Here are a few of Ori Gym's recommendations. Next at number 4, we have water bottles. It's so important to stay hydrated when exercising, and often many newbie yogis forget the fact that yoga is an intense workout. You wouldn't practice without a mat, and you should take that same kind of energy when it comes to bringing a water bottle to the studio / class with you. Treat your water bottle as a piece of equipment that is needed for yoga, not an optional accessory, similar to the need for running water bottles during running. The more water we lose from sweating, the more water we have to replace through drinking. If the average person weighs 150 pounds, then that means their body consists of 5 liters of water. The scientific approach to tackling water loss in exercise is to drink 1 liter of water for every 1,000 calories you burn. However, in his book The Lore of Running Fitness, expert Professor Tim Noak recommends simply drinking when you're thirsty during exercise. Regardless of which approach you take, you simply need to stay hydrated. This is especially important if you're practicing Bikram yoga. In this instance, a water bottle should be considered a piece of hot yoga equipment, as once you are in the type of environment, you'll be sweating profusely. The number 5 position is held by yoga pants and leggings. When stretching and twisting our bodies into the poses that yoga requires, we need to be comfortable. You may want to wear exercise clothing you already own, but if you want some of the best yoga equipment and clothing, then you're going to want to look at things that are designed specifically with the practice in mind. You're going to need pants or leggings that are high-waisted and come with moisture-wicking properties. This may apply to most workout gear, but the added bonus of yoga clothing is that it is usually softer and thinner. Having these yoga-specific designs will allow you to feel comfortable when exercising, and your clothing will be able to flow and stretch as you do. One important piece of advice that we can pass along is to make sure you get a size that is right for you. You don't want to go too tight, as the waistband will restrict you rather than support. Likewise, you don't want to go too loose because you're going to be entering poses that may require you to have your legs in the air, and the last thing you want is to be pulling your pants up in front of an entire class. The number 6 position is dominated by yoga blocks. The yoga block is another widely popular piece of yoga fitness equipment. Traditionally made up of foam, bamboo, or cork, the yoga block is the most commonly used piece of yoga equipment for beginners. The block is traditionally used to achieve positions, often being used as an extension of your arms when you can't reach into the full extension of certain poses. The yoga block is recommended for beginners as it helps to bring the floor closer, which is much needed assistance if you're not yet as flexible as you'd like to be. For example, if you're asked to do a half moon pose, a block will give your arm that added length, making the whole practice seem less intimidating for beginners. It's fair to say that a yoga block is a piece of equipment needed to practice yoga, but we'd suggest that the yoga block is also a piece of equipment needed to learn yoga in the first place. All yogi newbies should consider investing in one, especially if they have no previous flexibility training. However, this isn't the only use for the yoga block, as it is multifunctional. Whilst beginners can use it to bring the floor closer to them, other benefits of the product are that it can also be used as a balance block to stand and practice poses. Alternatively, it can also be used as support to stretch out tight muscles. The yoga block is a piece of cheap yoga equipment that every yogi should buy and enjoy. We have included some examples of yoga blocks below in order to show you how affordable and valuable they are. Moving on to the next at number 7 with yoga straps. Yoga straps are pieces of equipment that are used in yoga to assist in the development of flexibility. If you're a beginner with no previous flexibility training, then we would recommend investing in some yoga straps, as they will decrease the likelihood of muscle straining. For some handy tips on how to improve your flexibility, read through our recent blog post. You don't even need to use the straps in crazy elaborate poses. You will see and feel the benefit that yoga straps can provide from even the simplest of movements, such as sitting poses that use the yoga strap to stretch your legs. One commonly used technique of this yoga apparatus is to grab both ends of the strap and pull it towards you whilst leaning into a pose. So if we use the example of the pose mentioned above, we would be wrapping the strap around our feet and pulling them either towards our back or chest as we enter the pose. However, the strap is a multi-purpose piece of yoga equipment and can also be used on the buttocks, knees, and hips too. The poses and stretches that are used with the strap can effectively decrease tension whilst increasing flexibility. To increase flexibility along with your balance, we would recommend using the strap in the upright position. The strap can also benefit your arms by creating tension, and muscles in your arms will be making it easier to balance. The number 8 position is held by resistance bands. While somewhat similar to yoga straps, resistance bands are a separate entry on our yoga equipment list. Initially created to act as a physiotherapy treatment in the 1990s, resistance bands have quickly taken off in popularity among many athletes as well as dedicated yogis. You should consider investing in a set, as whilst they are not specifically designed for yoga, their properties and benefits of resistance bands will actually improve your yoga performance and skill level. Unlike the yoga band, the resistance bands are adaptable, and if you choose to buy a set, they'll increase both weight and resistance, improving your overall fitness level through this training. Whilst you may be somewhat confused as to how the resistance band can act as yoga exercise equipment, it may be worth considering them to be equipment that trains your body for yoga. By continuously upping the resistance during your training, your body will respond by becoming stronger and more flexible. Naturally, This will be beneficial when it comes to tackling yoga, as becoming more advanced in these two areas will mean that you'll be able to hold more challenging poses for longer periods of time. So, to answer the question of what equipment do I need for yoga, you need so much more than just yoga-specific equipment. You'll also need general exercise equipment that will help to train your body. Next at number 9, we have yoga wheel. The next entry onto our yoga equipment list is relatively new, with it becoming a popular piece of yoga studio equipment in 2018. The yoga wheel is a hollow, circular-shaped prop that is similar to the yoga block in the sense that it is designed to aid in stretching, releasing tension, and improving your flexibility. As previously mentioned, the yoga wheel has similar benefits to that of the yoga block. It will help to improve your flexibility by adding extra support for your limbs. However, because it rolls, it will allow you to stretch your body even further. Additionally, the yoga wheel is a great piece of equipment for yoga, as you will be able to stretch back and forth, whilst also allowing yourself to get into deeper positions. Now that we have covered how the yoga wheel and yoga block are similar, we must mention the unique benefits that the yoga wheel poses. If you suffer from any back pains or spinal issues, you can use the yoga wheel to ease this pain. Simply lie on top of the wheel and begin to push your body back and forth, paying particular attention to the areas where you feel the most pain. The yoga wheel is also a good piece of equipment used in yoga wind-down sessions and is great for relaxing tense muscles. If you are having trouble sleeping after a nightly exercise, we would recommend switching to yoga wheel-assisted practices for a night of better sleep. Resistance training can also help improve the quality of your sleep. A study conducted by Harvard University supports this recommendation, as it found that yoga can help you to unwind and act as a natural anti-anxiety treatment. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by foam roller. While similar to the yoga wheel, foam rollers can be used as equipment for yoga. Much like the yoga wheel, foam rollers can be incorporated into your exercise routines in order to help you achieve goals such as becoming more flexible and losing weight. Whilst the yoga wheel is hollow, foam rollers are thick and dense. Due to this, they can be a more effective treatment for back and joint pains, as the denseness of the product will offer your body more support. Similarly, whilst the yoga wheel will move around easier, in order to move a foam roller, you'll have to apply more pressure with your body. This may make it harder to improve flexibility in your joints, but it will strengthen your muscles more due to the increased level of resistance. If you're looking for cheap yoga equipment that is multifunctional, the foam roller may be the product you're looking for. It can be incorporated into yoga stretches. You can also use it for a multitude of reasons, even just a warm-up or cool-down exercise. The foam roller is a great piece of yoga equipment for beginners to use, as it will improve your overall range of motions, naturally improving your yoga skills in the process. In a 2015 study, it was found that 11 athletes who used foam rollers whilst also incorporating static stretches saw an increase in their range of motion. If you want to incorporate static stretching into your yoga routines, we would recommend trying Hatha Yoga. This practice is a lot slower than other forms of yoga and focuses more on holding poses rather than transitioning out of them. For more information on the benefits of foam rollers, take a look at our guide. That's all for today. We upload fitness product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.